Hey guys, what's up? This is Singhal, and I'm here to share my resource list for CSE this year. For you, this basically means all the books that I referred and all the materials that I referred. Just to give you a bit about who I am, I got rank 1 this year. Strangely, yes, I do admit. So, what I'm doing is I'm trying to give my material and give my resource list to all of you who can't afford coaching and who don't want to do this. So do spread the word for this education revolution. And if you have any queries, this video is done by Unacademy, and it's by Roman Saini sir. So that's his Facebook link out there. And what you can just post your queries to him, and he'll probably respond to you. Or you can just comment below in this video. Just to give you an idea, these are my marks for essay and GS1, GS2, 3, 4, and geography optional. I didn't really prepare for prelims, so can't really help you there. That was 206. Not all that great, but just about enough to pass through. Okay, starting from the essay. I didn't use a book. I kind of went with the essays based on whatever my knowledge was. I remember doing essays a lot in high school, so I think that must have helped and that must have stuck by. So I didn't really do any of the essays in specific. I've never written an essay for myself, never practiced any, and I tend to not use quotes or by other authors, and I tend to not try to remember stuff. So essay was a blank. I just did it directly during the exam. If you guys need help with essays, I believe Unacademy has 2 videos there which you can go to and watch, and hopefully they're going to be enough for you to kind of sail through the essays. GS1 now. Art and culture, that's something I never actually prepared. There are a few videos here on Unacademy for this. I think 6 videos, so you can watch those. I wish I had. Maybe I'd have scored a little better with the GS1 paper. This was 103 for me. So I left all the art and culture questions since I hadn't prepared this section. Independence history, which is what they call modern history. This I did from 2 sources. One is for pre-1857. I did the old NCRT, not the new one. And I did the Spectrum for Spectrum book for 1857 and beyond. The way I see it is you don't really need to go in depth anymore. They need you to know the topic, need you to know what the event was, and then you have to sort of analyze it right then and there during the exam. And that works, okay? So what you're doing is just get the basic idea and then go do the answering bit in the exam. So I did not read the fat Bipin Chandra, the one with 400 or something pages, and I thought it was a complete waste of time because it was a single perspective. And what actually happens is when you read books which give you a perspective is that you don't really do a perspective from other angles. You just go with the perspective that you've read. So for me, that was a waste of time. I didn't do that. NCRT, the new one, I missed reading that, but I think that's a good one because what they do is there's a special topic in the exam about important personalities from the Indian history, and what they do is that they've given all the important personalities in the boxes in the book. So, there are these light small boxes, and they would write the name and give you the history of the person, and that helps remembering those people. So, new NCRT again is a good idea for pre-independence history. Post-independence history, I seriously think you should only go with the new NCRT. It's called India Since Independence. It's absolutely a brilliant book. It gives everything you need to know, and it's very clear, very concise, and to the point. I think it takes around 4 or 5 hours to do it once. Again, it has all the personalities in the boxes. So, and what I think is that UPSC hasn't really run out of questions to ask from that bit. So, for the next 2-3 years, I think they should do well. So, I don't think you need to go into depth beyond that book for now. World history, I did with the old NCRTs. It's available as photocopies in the market. I did it right from 9th to 12th. The questions were mainly from 11th and 12th, but the 9th and 10th books gave me a good base to answer the questions. It gives you a good background, it gives you a simpler view of the thing, and makes it easy to answer the questions. So I did the whole 9th to 12th, and I didn't read another book for this. No Norman Law, no any other book. So for me, it was just the old NCRTs. Like I said, for old post-independence history, UPSC hasn't run out of questions for this. So again, the NCRTs should suffice for a few more years now. Sociology stuff. I picked up a material of a couple of coachings and I kind of went through that. I think there are a lot of specialized books available on those topics as well. Um, since I was doing my prep at the last minute, I didn't really have the time to go through all of that. So I just kind of went with whatever my general understanding of Indian society was, and that's how I did. Now, geography bit, I actually have it as my optional. So I really can't tell you what books to read. And geography, like modern India history, the pre independence history, has been explored quite a bit. So you might need a little more specialization in this topic as well. I do remember Mrinal has covered some of the topics, mrinal.org. And I think Unacademy also has some nice videos on this. So, plus, you can find really cute basic videos on YouTube about some of the topics, especially resources and stuff. World and India resources. So, I think that should about do your topic for you. And even for the optional, I started with the NCRTs. And since it was my optional, I started with the NCRTs from class 6th. I don't know if you need to start it from there. Maybe if your understanding is better, you can go from class 9th or whatever level you like. But yeah, NCRTs I think are your basic starting point. Going to GS2 now. I did actually quite well in this. I got to 122 on 250. So I'm a little surprised myself because I did write well in the exam, but I guess I must have written pretty well. So for the polity bit, I only did Lakshmikant. I find it the best book. It gives very clear basics. It's easy to read, and it kind of structures the whole thing really well for you. So what happens is you don't need to hunt, pages, and you don't need to hunt topics, and it kind of puts things in the same place for you. I find it the best book ever because I feel like it kind of puts everything in the same place and it kind of gives you a nice perspective in an easy language and easy to understand, and it deals with the sort of events that are happening in the world around you. So, I find Lakshmikant Polity as the best book, so that's what I referred. I did not read D.D. Basu or any of the other technical books. I guess I'll have to try those again now because I sort of do want to check them out, but I didn't really do it then. So it was just Lakshmikant for me at that point. Now we have a new topic called Representation of People's Act. I didn't find any study material which was good for that. What I did was then I went online, I searched RPA, I went through a lot of multiple websites for that. I did a lot of other material, and in the news there was I think 2 judgments that had come last year. So whatever items were there in the news, I would do those, and so my RPA was mainly about news and current affairs and from the websites. Coming to schemes, I did a lot of schemes from the ministry websites. For example, the Women and Child Development Ministry website. It deals with all the schemes that they've come up with, the Minority Affairs website and all of that. So they deal with all the schemes and all the plans that the government has and all of the agendas that have been working. So I did all of that for all my schemes and all of that. But then another really interesting thing was, which I discovered last year, was my friend Shikhar. He used to kind of listen to the news, and he kind of forced me to listen to the news with him. And I found that after news, they sometimes had this program called News Analysis on AIR, where they discuss the schemes or the news of the day. And that gave me a different perspective to form what my perspective was. So, and then sometimes I would discuss it with a couple of friends, the events of the previous day, and that kind of gave me multiple perspectives. So I sort of helped analyze the news bit and helped analyze the current affairs bit. The changes that I made this year was A, listen to this news analysis, B, do the ministry websites, which I hadn't done before, and then I also did Google search for the schemes. Didn't really do only from the websites, also did it from the Google. Okay, so if you do a Google search on what are the schemes that are currently running, there'll be a lot of results and you can sort of filter them and figure out which ones are the current ones and which ones are the expired schemes, and it gives you a nice perspective on how things are going in India. Directly coming to current affairs, I hadn't been reading the Hindu. I was too lazy for that. So what I did was I picked up this vision coaching current affairs which had come out. I think it was just a compilation of the news items from the Hindu. I did them from December of 2013 up to I think November or October of 2014 for the mains, and this sort of worked for me. I realized there was one question from December 2013 in the exam, one from Jan 2014, and one from Feb also. So that kind of helped doing current affairs from back then. And since I was too lazy to make notes, what vision material did was basically make those notes for me. So like I said, December 2013, and I did not leave the current affairs this attempt like I had done in my previous attempt. In 2013, when they changed the syllabus, they did not write the word current affairs in the syllabus anymore. And in 13, I thought that okay, we don't need to do the current affairs anymore, and that was my mistake, and which is why I scored very low in the paper that year. And I corrected that. I did the current affairs this year, and I can see the difference. For international, I did the Vajiram coaching material, which came out like a month before the exam or maybe 15 days, and I found that enough for me. I already had a base for IR because I've given the exam before, so I kind of needed to just know the latest bit. Other things that I did for this paper was go through a lot of government documents, like some of the reports that had come out, and what I did was I made a list of all the topics mentioned in the syllabus, and I would Google search each of them and get different viewpoints and get different material on them, and so that helped. Too lazy to make notes, but it gave me a general idea, and if I read the same topic in 5 sources, some sort of things would stick in my head. This was something I tried for the first time this year, and I think it made a lot of difference. It helped. And generally what I did was I did not do material from a single coaching. I did 3 coachings, Shriram, Vajiram and Vision, and something was good somewhere, something was good somewhere, and a lot of the material was better online, so I went with all of that and then compiled my stuff. GS3, I had 95 on 250, not all that great, but sufficeable. The basic economic bits wasn't all that tough for me because business school, I kind of did all of that. Didn't really need to go in depth, but I do recommend it for anybody who doesn't have a background in economics. For me, it was just about brushing it up, and I just picked up topics and things from here and there. I didn't really do a particular source. Okay, so you can do this from NCRT if you like, and I think they give you a good basic ground. Economics current affairs in particular is something I did from Ronald. The thing is, what he's done is give you an idiot's guide to the things, and I think that's a brilliant way of putting things. So for me, it was a brilliant source, and the unfortunate part is that I did it only the night before the exam and not for that long, so that was something that I regret. Had I done it better? So for me, currently what I do think is that Mrinal was the best source available. I think Unacademy will be coming out in some of the videos for economics, so you guys could check this out as well, and hopefully they'll help you build your economics base much more. Then I did the government documents and the websites, and for example, I did the economics survey. It gives you a lot of, helps you in building up the latest stuff. And then for the traditional sort of solid topics, I did the Vision and Sriram coaching material. Coming to the security bit, Vajiram booklet for security is what I did. I don't think it was the best thing out there. In fact, the material was just alright. It gave me a base to start with, but I had to build it. And I also checked out the Sriram material. It was decent. It wasn't, again, like the best, but it was good for some topics and okay for some other topics. So I did a combination of stuff and also a lot of hunting online. NDMA and disaster management websites from the government took care of my disaster bit. S&T, biodiversity and environment is something. Environment, like I've mentioned in another video, I think Unacademy has around 18 videos on this. So you can do those there. And since environment has become an important topic for the exam, you will need to do it a lot more than I have done. S&T, again, they have a lot of videos here on Unacademy. Around 10, I think, so you can check those out as well. I did not know about these. What I had done was Wizard Science and Tech. It is an extremely fat book, almost a couple of inches fat, and really big with a really small font. So it takes around 3 to 4 months to finish that book. I had done it in my first attempt. So for me, it just meant revision in my later attempts. So I kept kind of doing that because for me, it wasn't such a lot of effort. But yes, it is a very fat book, and it takes 3 or 4 months to finish that. So if you want an easy thing, you can just go through the videos on Academy, I think. Yeah, like I said, I just updated myself from the Wizard Science and Tech. It's a good comprehensive book, but way too comprehensive. So unless you have the patience for it, you won't be able to do it. Now coming to GS4 ethics, I have a 135 on this. All I did was the thin lexicon book. I even counted the pages and mugged it up. It was 187 pages. The reason I know this is because I used to keep thinking, oh my god, reading this topic for that long. No, so 187 thin book, small pages. It worked for me because I have a background in ethics. I have done my MBA, and there we do this topic in a lot of detail. So I did not really need too much preparation. I haven't ever done a single case study on my own. But I don't think it'll work for most of you. A lot of you have been asking me for books. I'm sorry, I'm not the right person to advise you on this. Okay, so you'll have to kind of hunt through other books, and hopefully you'll get some material. Um, I handled my case studies basis whatever I had learned in business school. It wasn't any single technique. It was more about using multiple techniques to solve each problem. Some of the techniques which I think you can Google are PESTLE, something called stakeholder analysis, a value chain analysis, a SWOT analysis, a pro-con analysis, and a couple of other strategy tools is what we call these. So you can go through these, and they should help in solving case studies. So thank you for watching this, and I hope you spread the word and become a part of this education revolution. Please hit thumbs up if you've liked this video, and do subscribe to it with the subscribe button given below. This is the Facebook address and the Twitter handle that you can approach on Academy Roman Saini and on. And I hope these videos work for you. Please spread the word for education for all revolution. And thank you for watching the tutorial. Have a brilliant day.